I want to know like what your top picks are now that because I know you've been watching every single week, and this is not your first season. You've watched a lot of seasons, and you really have good insight. I want to know who your top picks are for Katie.
Here's my top picks for Katie. I think her and Greg have wild chemistry. Like it's tough. From the get-go they did. Last night she said that he's the best kisser, so it's tough not to say Greg. I think Blake is like coming out of nowhere, out of left field. He's coming in and he's coming in hot. What I like about Blake's chemistry with Katie is it's quirky as all hell. I just found out actually he's a Hamilton, Ontario guy. That's right around the street from Buffalo. We're like neighbors. So,
you in Buffalo. I cannot with you.
We're obsessed. So, but you can tell the guy's got it in him. He's down to earth. He's like, he's quirky as shit. I don't think he's as smooth as all is. Like, I'm going to put that out there. I don't think he's as smooth as Greg. But him and Katie got something that's undeniable. And then, I mean, how do you not love Andrew S. and Michael A?
I know.
Those guys, I mean, I'm ready to fall in love with the dudes off watching, right? So, and you could see, like, what's cool is you could see her relationship has so many different aspects with so many different guys, and I don't think the strength of those relationships is the same in any one of those. So it'll be interesting to see like which way she ends up like going and why. But it's been fun to watch. And then the thing I'll say about Justin is like, first of all, he's got the best reactions of anybody, I think, in Bachelor history without saying any words.
The best.
That's for sure.
The best.
Like he is, but I haven't like heard him. I feel like I haven't heard him talk much.
I know.
And then Franco, who did their little like, their engagement photography. I was like, if Franco, I don't know if you guys know if he's up for hire, like maybe for the wedding with Caitlin and I, be a good addition.
Oh my gosh.
He lives in New York. Good. He lives down the street from me. I will ask him for you next time I see him.
Yeah, give us a little plug.
See, like, hey, you free? I have a job for you.
Speaking of, we do want to get into that. I mean, the video, everything that you guys post on social about the engagement. It was
I know.
Did you, like, I just recently found out that one of my friends who got engaged, like, her guy had, like, carried the ring around for 4 months. Like, did you just know, like, how, like, did you know when you wanted to do it? Like, take us through the thought process of this. I love these type of stories.
Yeah, and like when you knew that you were ready to marry this woman.
Yeah, I knew a while ago I was ready to marry this woman. It was just that the problem is there's so many moving parts in our lives right now. And to me, the biggest part of the engagement, no matter what, wasn't the thrills or, the money or any of the stuff behind like what I would do, right? It's more about literally her friends and family. So for so long, how can we figure this out? How can we get her family? Then I have a plan. Then COVID hits. Then what the hell are we going to do?
Right.
Then the summer of 2020, if you remember, kind of COVID like pulled back a little bit. So I thought we had a good plan in place. And then boom, Dancing with the Stars hit, and then Caitlin's, and then Canada totally shut down. So the planning process was an absolute nightmare of trying to figure out what I could do. But then it got to a point like you can't let the uncontrollables control your entire life. So just had to make something work. And I was fourth in inches from being able to get this done. When we went to go see her parents in Mexico. We were going to see her mom for the first time in a year and a half. And then I ran into all these border issues actually bringing the ring over. And so, I had to detour the whole plan because I was going to do it in Mexico with her mom and had this whole setup.
Oh, shoot.
And then I realized I couldn't bring this over.
You couldn't just like bring it in your pocket, like.
So if I bring it over as like my asset, it's like considered an asset of mine, and at the value of what the ring is, I would have to totally disclose it and then show receipts. And I'm traveling with Caitlin, so how can I? And if I did do that and it got sniped, it would have been a whole production.
Oh my God! Could you imagine?
It'd be awful. It would be awful. So then I found this out, by the way, like 7 days before we were traveling. So I was scrambling. I'm like, what the hell do I do? How do I make this sentimental and everything? And I was actually like totally like venting to my mom, like, you got to be shitting me. Like, finally, this is it. And it got pulled. So my mom actually, it was a big part of helping me come up with the creative. She's like, you guys met on the podcast. I was like, So I proposed to her on the podcast. She had no idea.
And that was before the trip to Mexico.
That was literally 2 days before.
Oh my God. So it literally, you just winged it. You were like, you know what, screw it, I'm going to do it before. So that way she can wear it on her hand.
Exactly, because then it's hers. There's no issue there.
Got it.
So, and the way we got actually, it's funny. We got her manager to tell Caitlin that it was like this, that she had a big Apple sponsorship for this deal, like a huge. So they had to have video there. So Caitlin is like walking around like she's like the queen, thinking she's like,
I'm badass. I got Apple coming.
She's like telling me, she's like prepping me before, like, okay, you got to be ready. Like, it's got to be good, okay? I'm just dying. And so when it all happened, it was priceless because she had no idea. And it's funny. It's like once the dust settled and everything else happened that day, she was like, Cleo, she's like, so like, do we still have an Apple deal, or was that like part of the gift?
That's exactly what I would have asked.
She really can't get mad because, she got something really good out of it all. So she really can't get mad. But that's a really good, like, that was a good job.
But where's Apple?
Well done.
And what's cool about that is that so many of my friends, I talk to them, like, give me advice. They're all like, listen, you're going to talk and you're going to black out. You're not going to remember anything. Yeah. So it's cool that we actually have the audio for the first time we met and the proposal, which is we like share with our kids and stuff like that.
I love that.